Every town has a dark side. Over the past couple of years, a theory has emerged along the streets and waterways of Chicago, Illinois, that has ignited serious concern and fear among the residents, particularly young men in their early 20s who should be most wary. Since 2022, 16 bodies in total have been discovered in various bodies of water there, mainly Lake Michigan, but also in the Chicago River. This has prompted a lot of questions from the public as they try to grapple with the true nature behind these tragic deaths. While accidents and coincidences seem to be common explanations for such tragedies, the pattern and frequency at which these incidents are happening have led many to suspect a more sinister force at work. What's most alarming about all this is that this isn't the first time it's happened. It's primarily occurred in the Midwest, which does connect these Chicago deaths in a way, but also on the East Coast since the late 90s. It's been alleged that up to 50 young men may have been killed in this exact same manner. It's the work of an underground gang or network of killers that drugs their victims while they're out at bars or parties before snatching them off into the night. Once they're done with them, be it a few days later or even months, they dump them in various bodies of water to wash away the evidence and make it appear to have been an accident. The name of that gang is the Smiley Face Killers. Before delving into the unusual circumstances surrounding the deaths in Chicago, it's important to understand the broader statistics related to drowning incidents. Annually in the U.S., there are approximately 320,000 drowning deaths, with around 3,500 to 4,000 occurring each year. Shockingly, this equates to an average of 10 deaths per day. Among these tragic incidents, approximately 25% involve children under the age of 4, and about 40% impact individuals aged 17 and younger. This leaves approximately 2,250 drowning deaths involving adults, reflecting the significant impact of these incidents. The isolated nature of drowning incidents. Traditionally, each drowning incident is viewed as an isolated event, often occurring without any evident connections to other cases. These incidents are typically localized, rarely making national headlines unless they directly impact the local community. Whether it's a result of a water-related accident, lack of swimming skills, or misjudgment in water activities, these incidents are generally perceived as unfortunate accidents that occur sporadically. The unprecedented situation in Chicago. However, in Chicago, the frequency and pattern of these drowning incidents became alarming. The city experienced a series of deaths occurring with unusual rapidity, prompting widespread concern and attention. Individuals were being discovered lifeless in bodies of water, with drowning cited as the cause of death. Despite the absence of visible signs of foul play, the sheer volume of these incidents raised significant suspicion and unease within the community. May 2022. Daniel Soto and Natalie Brookson were found in Lake Michigan. June 2022. A wood brown was discovered in Lake Michigan. December 2022. Peter Salvino and Christoph Zuber were pulled from Lake Michigan. February 2023. Anthony Rucker was found in the Chicago River March 2023. Joel Orduno's body was recovered. April 2023, Richard Garcia was discovered. May 2023, an unidentified woman was found in the water. June 2023, Noah Enos became the latest victim. These individuals, despite having no apparent connections in life, shared a tragic similarity in death, all being young adults in their 20s, leading to a growing sense of unease and suspicion within the community. In December 2022, 25-year-old Peter Salvino, a doctoral student at Northwestern University, attended a house party at the North Geneva Terrace apartment. After having a good time and being in high spirits, he left the party alone to head home. However, he was reported missing the next day by family and friends. Investigators were able to track the last location of his cell phone, which was near Diversey Harbor, just a short distance away from the party he attended. 3 days later, on Tuesday, December 20th, Marine units assisting in the search found Peter's body floating in Lake Michigan along the 2400 block of North Cannon Drive, close to where his cell phone had last pinged. His passing marked the second death in Lake Michigan that month. A week before his disappearance, another young man, 21-year-old Christoph Zuber, was found unresponsive in the waters near the 1000 block of North DuSable Lakeshore Drive and was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Two young men, Joel Orduno and Seamus Gray, both met tragic fates after separate incidents that have left the public and law enforcement puzzled. Their disappearances and subsequent deaths have raised significant concerns and sparked intense scrutiny. Let's delve into the details of these distressing cases and the unsettling circumstances surrounding their untimely demises. On February 17, 2023, 24-year-old Joel Orduno was last seen at his apartment in Logan Square. However, it wasn't until nearly a month later that Orduno's body was discovered in the Chicago River near North Levitt Street's 2700 block. Despite the alarm and speculation surrounding his disappearance, the Chicago PD officially closed the case, deeming the circumstances surrounding Orduno's death as non-criminal. On March 18th, 21-year-old sailor Seamus Gray went missing after leaving a tavern in Waukegan, located roughly 40 miles north of Chicago. The last sighting of Gray was at a nightclub at 17 North Genesee Street, near the waters of Lake Michigan. CCTV footage captured Gray interacting with a group of individuals before a series of concerning events unfolded, ultimately leading to his disappearance. Prior investigations revealed that the last time Christoph was seen was the evening of December 3rd, when he was at a holiday party happening at Howell at the Moon, a large bar and event space. Several people saw him there, though no one was certain when he exactly left. The next day, his friend checked in to see if he was back at his place, but found his room empty. The two deaths have not officially been linked, but there are obvious similarities. Young men who were at parties, gone missing, and later found in the same body of water. Perhaps these two young men somehow accidentally fell into the lake. That's most certainly a possibility. But when you extrapolate on this pattern, all the bodies showing up in the same place, it becomes harder and harder to justify them as simply unfortunate mistakes. On June 12th, 26-year-old Noah Enos attended a concert at the Salt Shed in Chicago with a coworker. Throughout the event, he stayed in touch with his girlfriend Nicole via text and Snapchat, even sharing a snapshot from inside the venue. Noah's last communication was received around 9 p.m., and his phone died about an hour later. 5 days later, on June 17th, Noah's body was discovered in a north branch of the Chicago River near the 1300 block of North. The circumstances surrounding his disappearance and subsequent death have prompted intense speculation and concern within the community, raising questions about the potential connection to other tragic incidents in the area. As the mysterious deaths in Chicago continue to raise alarms and suspicions, the public is divided on the possible explanations behind these tragic incidents. While some believe that these deaths could be the result of accidental drownings, others speculate that there may be a serial killer at work, targeting young men in the city. Let's delve into the theories and speculations surrounding these unsettling cases. Former CIA and FBI agent Tracy Walder, along with many others, has pointed out the strikingly similar patterns and connections between the various cases. The sheer number of incidents and the shared characteristics among the victims have led to serious concerns about the presence of a serial killer. This has prompted some to question whether the authorities are downplaying the possibility of a serial killer to prevent widespread panic and maintain the city's reputation. Speculations have arisen regarding the tactical approach of law enforcement in handling these cases. Some believe that authorities may be intentionally refraining from publicly acknowledging the presence of a serial killer. This strategic decision aims to make the killer feel comfortable, potentially leading to a slip-up or increased boldness, ultimately aiding in their capture. The intention behind this approach is to avoid creating panic and to increase the likelihood of the killer making a mistake. Furthermore, there have been discussions linking these incidents to the long-standing theory of the Smiley face killers, an alleged underground gang responsible for abducting and murdering young men for over 2 decades. The similarities between the Chicago cases and the modus operandi of the Smiley face killers have fueled speculation about a potential connection to this notorious theory. The smiley face killer theory originated from the investigations of retired New York City detectives Kevin Gannon and Anthony Darty in the late 90s and early 2000s. They observed a disturbing pattern in the drownings of young men in several states, positing that these were not isolated incidents or accidents, but the work of a nationwide syndicate of serial killers. The killers left behind a signature, a smiley face graffiti near the locations where the victims were believed to have entered the water or were found, leading to the name Smiley Face Killers. In total, 45 people have been linked to the Smiley Face Killers, with the possibility of several more victims. The theory suggests that the killers target college-age men who are out partying, drug them to subdue them, and then abduct them. The motive behind these abductions is unclear, with speculation about a sadomasochistic element and a form of devil worship. The victims are believed to be waterboarded as part of the process, possibly as a way to cleanse them. Once they are dead, the bodies are dumped in bodies of water to make it appear as accidental drownings. Some victims were found months later in relatively good condition, indicating that they were not in the water immediately after leaving a bar or party. Several victims show no signs of bloating, which typically occurs in drowning cases, suggesting they were killed elsewhere and then dropped off in bodies of water. The theory gained media coverage and attention from prominent figures, including Anderson Cooper and Geraldo Rivera, leading to documentaries, books, and articles exploring the possibility of the smiley face killer's existence. Speculation and debate surround the resurgence of the smiley face killer theory in the context of the tragic deaths in Chicago. While the similarities and circumstances of the victims' deaths coupled with the Midwest location have fueled these speculations, there is an absence of definitive evidence connecting the incidents to the purported gang. Experts remain divided on the validity of the smiley face killer theory, mirroring the division surrounding the cases in the Windy City. Some argue that it draws attention away from more plausible explanations related to personal accidents, mental health crises, or individual acts of violence. However, others see it as a call to reevaluate and consider alternative perspectives. While the smiley face killer theory has captured public attention, it's essential to consider other potential explanations for the tragic deaths in Chicago. These include personal accidents, mental health crises, or individual acts of violence, all of which warrant thorough investigation and analysis. The smiley face graffiti, from which the alleged gang gets its name, holds a significant presence in various locations, often overlooked as a common image. It can be found spray-painted on railroad track bridges, concrete walls along water's edges, and other public spaces. This widespread presence suggests that the graffiti may not serve as a distinct calling card for the alleged gang, but rather a commonly used symbol. In the context of body decomposition, the weather conditions in the Northeast and the Midwest, particularly during the winter, play a crucial role. In colder temperatures, the freezing of meat can slow down the decomposition process, impacting the appearance of bodies found in bodies of water. This factor adds complexity to the assessment of the timeline between a victim's disappearance and the discovery of their remains. As the investigation delves into the series of tragic drownings in Chicago, The utilization of CCTV footage has played a pivotal role in shedding light on the circumstances surrounding the victim's final moments. By analyzing the footage and eyewitness accounts, law enforcement has been able to piece together critical details, providing valuable insights into the events leading up to these devastating incidents. The use of CCTV footage has been instrumental in unraveling the sequence of events preceding the drownings of several individuals in Chicago. In the case of 25-year-old Peter Salvino, police were able to track his movements from the party at the Geneva Terrace apartment to the nearby harbor parking lot, where he ultimately stumbled into the water. The footage provided crucial visual evidence, enabling authorities to retrace his steps and locate his final resting place, highlighting the indispensable role of surveillance technology in the investigative process. Similarly, Christoph Zuber's tragic fate mirrored a similar pattern, as he was observed walking toward the water and subsequently falling in. The retrieval of his body from the beach near the incident site underscores the significance of CCTV footage in reconstructing the events leading to these heartbreaking losses. Beyond the surveillance footage, eyewitness accounts have contributed to the understanding of the circumstances surrounding the drownings. The case of Daniel Soto and Natalie Brookson, a couple who went missing in late April, highlights the potential influence of intoxication and risky behavior leading to tragic outcomes. Eyewitness testimonies and accounts of their behavior provide critical context, shedding light on the series of events that culminated in their untimely deaths. While the investigations continue to explore the role of CCTV footage and eyewitness accounts in unraveling the mysteries of these drownings, the interplay of technology and human observations remains integral to piecing together the intricate details surrounding these devastating incidents in Chicago. Unfortunately, people, especially those in their 20s, go out to bars and drink a lot, sometimes too much, as they've yet to learn their limit or don't care. You've maybe been there before yourself on an occasion or two. At the very least, I'm sure you've seen it. Someone stumbling, trying to make their way, getting kicked out of a place while they have a hard time telling left from right and up from down. There could be a gang of killers targeting young college-age men, or the killer could be alcohol and perhaps some other substances. These were, by all accounts, good people who had one too many. And if you're in that condition, you could easily stumble down an embankment that leads to the water. Trying to swim in that condition is less than ideal, and at some point they got tired. As unsettling theories and speculations surrounding the tragic deaths in Chicago continue to circulate, it's natural for individuals to seek explanations that provide a sense of control and understanding amidst these distressing events. The concept of a killer gang at large, while unsettling, can serve as a coping mechanism for some, offering a narrative that attempts to rationalize the inexplicable. Whether it's grappling with the idea of a calculated killer targeting victims or the possibility of accidental drownings due to alcohol and substance abuse, these narratives reflect our innate inclination to comprehend and contextualize the incomprehensible.